Hello YouTube viewers and random Doctor Who fans, so we'll be reviewing this, which is the Character Options much anticipated return to the 5-inch scale figure range, the 12th Doctor, and here he is in his packaging. I have to say, I'm loving the new designs of the boxes. The blue, purple and orange design is very striking, while it retains that rhombus design seen on older packaging. We get the classic Doctor Who logo in the top corner, while the 12th Doctor collector figure is printed below, and is part of the 5.5-inch collector series. The window is large and extends to the side of the box, which reminds me of the Star Wars Black Series style of packaging, and of course you can see the Doctor and his screwdriver clearly, with some cogs and gears from his opening title sequence on the backdrop there. The back offers a large image of the figure with a little quote printed off to the side, while we get a bit of a write-up on the character, which you're able to read if you pause the video. But anyway, enough about the box, let's take a look at the figure itself. Okay, so here we have the 12th Doctor, and instantly those of you who are eagle-eyed will spot one obvious thing. This is pretty much the exact same figure as the 3 3/4 scale version, only enlarged. I'll do a comparison a little bit later on, but it's essentially the same thing, only larger. Taking a look at the head sculpt, I can sort of see Peter Capaldi in there, but it is very inaccurate, and I still prefer the sculpt which came with the Time of the Doctor figure. Being larger though, there is more room for detail, such as his cheekbones and various lines around his face to be seen, while the eyes look much sharper here than on the smaller model. The hair does look excellent, with the sculpt looking very clear, and this is really brought out by that light grey wash. Moving down to the body, of course the figure is missing his waistcoat or cardigan or hoodie, delete where applicable. This is due to the fact that this figure will be subjected to various repaints and re-releases down the line, and it would have been too expensive to have created a torso with a cardigan sculpt for just one figure. Honestly, I feel that some paint apps could have been used here to make it seem as though he's wearing one. However, if you look closely, it appears as though he does wear this outfit with just the white shirt at the beginning of the episode The Caretaker, which technically makes it screen accurate, even though it was only on screen for a few seconds. Thankfully though, the shirt does look pretty good with the mould of the fastened collar, buttons running down the join along the middle of the chest, and that great creased and wrinkled material effect. The Crombie coat has also been perfectly recreated. You can see the collar and lapels on each side, as well as buttons and buttonholes, although it would have been nice to have seen a sculpt of the coat with the top button fastened like how the Doctor actually wears it. Some pockets are present on either side, but are a little bit high up, while the coat is covered with seams and creases and wrinkled material sculpting, particularly on the back, which sets it off very nicely. But the real standout has to be the fact that the coat actually contains the red lining. This is just brilliant, as it makes the figure much more accurate and helps to break up the black and white monotony of the outfit. The arms look good, as just like the coat, they have that creased and wrinkled effect. You can see some buttons on the cuffs, as well as the white sleeves of his shirt poking out from underneath. The hands are sculpted well, one is shaped to hold his screwdriver, while the other is in an open palmed position, which features his signature ring on the third finger. The legs feature some charcoal black trousers, which yet again feature the material sculpting effect. Finally, the Doc Marten boots sport a great attention to detail and are set off well by the use of glossy black paint. Finally, the soles are brown and feature a peg hole on each foot, as well as some legal ergwanyaba. So, overall for detail, it looks quite good. Turning to articulation, the head could do the full 360-degree exorcist twist, but I wouldn't recommend it as it can scrape off the paint apps on the neck. The arm can do a full 360 at the shoulder as well as move out to 90 degrees. A full 360 is present on the top of the arm, we get a 90-degree bend on the elbow, and a full 360 on the wrist. The Doctor features full 360-degree waist articulation, the legs kick out to 90 degrees, and move out fully to the sides, allowing him to do the splits. A full 360 is found at the top of the leg, the knee bends into 90 degrees, and there's a final full 360 at the top of the boots. So when it comes to articulation, it's pretty standard. Looking at accessories, the 12th Doctor only comes with one, his trusty sonic screwdriver. What I really like about this one is that it's the first time that we've gotten a new sculpt of this screwdriver's design in the 5-inch scale. It's in closed mode. You can see the green emitter with the 4 claws closed in place around it, the copper and silver panels of the cage which are a little bit untidy, the black grip, the white handle and copper end cap. This slots into the figure's right hand where it's held very securely indeed, but he does suffer from the same issue as the 11th Doctor figure in that he can't really be posed while pointing the sonic, only sort of holding it upright. Doing a size comparison, many people have been complaining that this figure is in fact a little too big to fit in with the older figures, but honestly, I don't see an issue here. He looks great when posed next to some of my other Doctors and Oswin, as well as my custom Clara and flight control TARDIS. Comparing him to my custom 12th Doctor, I don't think I was too far off the mark with it, but as I used the time of the Doctor head sculpt, you can see the difference, and I personally prefer it to the sculpt of this new figure. Finally, here we have the Doctor next to his 3 3/4 scale doppelganger, and as I said before, you can really see that it's just the same thing, only in a different size. The head sculpt is the same, as are the hands, and even the use of the colours on the coat and trousers. But even though it's not perfect, you can see the superiority of the bigger figure. As with the larger size, paint apps can be added with much more precision, as too can the subtle sculpted details. That's why I'll always prefer the 5-inch scale. So, overall, what do I think of this figure? Well, I like it. Sure, it's not perfect. The face sculpt only vaguely looks like Peter Capaldi, and I hate the fact that he doesn't come with his cardigan due to cost-cutting measures. God love character options in Underground Toys. At least they tried for once. So would I recommend the figure? Hell yes. In fact, I encourage you to buy 5 or 6 of them to show the producers that there's still demand for 5-inch figures. I'm joking, but perhaps we will eventually get more figures in this scale of better quality down the line if they know that there's demand for them. But for now, it's decent enough, and yeah, I'll take it. And so that brings us to the end of this review. I really hope you liked it. If you did and you're new to my channel, please hit subscribe for more videos and keep up to date with all my latest news and reviews by liking my Facebook page and following me on Twitter. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.